so I always felt like I'm still teaching.
But see, what Jerry's saying, then I feel like you. Like, I feel like I'm called to women. But I have women all the time talking to me. But then I feel like, you know how they say a God dream is so much bigger than you?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But what I'm doing, I can do.
But
I feel like
there's
I'm
still
not
more
all the
to
way in
it.
the dream.
You're probably not all the way in the dream.
But
But you're still, but you're in the, but you're in the dream, but the dream ain't, you ain't woke up yet.
Because I think when promises are in the atmosphere and really above your head, it's I don't think people know the intention. They don't realize that they need to be intentional about what someone says.
Mm-hmm. And then you said, can your dream be God's dream?
Yeah. Like, for instance, let's say, you know how people are like, well, when they little, when I grow up, I'm going to be a princess, just example. And right. Can that really be, as you grow older, can that really be all along since you was 5 years old? That's what God had in your heart for you to desire, and that's really what He had for you.
That's good. And do you stay? You said, do you stay in the dream when you get to the dream and it's not what you thought it was?
No, more so, how do you stay in it when the two have blended? Like, because like sometimes you will feel God called you to do it, so then you go to it and you start doing it, and then it looks different than what you personally was dreaming about it. Then it's like, do I stay because this is what God's saying? Or was God telling me to do something? Like, get here and do something else. So it's like, they blend.
Like, He gets you there,
yeah.
But it's a whole other thing.
It's a whole other thing.
Like, if He couldn't got you there, you wouldn't have been able to go through this door, do that.
Right.
Yeah. Because I feel that He don't tell you everything for that real reason. Right.
Because it'll mess you up. Because I'll just be transparent. We was talking about this on Sunday. I created a whole business to recruit players, and then I presented it to DeVos. And during the presentation, the next day I get an interview for Godwin. Then I get the Godwin job. So now I've been confused on like,
was I supposed to do this?
Was I supposed to do the business, or did you give me the business to be good at it when I get in this job? And it's like, how do you? Because they get blurred, and then it's like, how do you know?
But I believe I was called to teach. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were just saying, I went to school to be a special education teacher. Mm-hmm. I've never taught in the realm of the traditional teacher aspect, but I'm teaching with my life and with people. The reason I take Kingdom communicator classes to facilitate, because I like facilitating or teaching small groups. I educate and teach people on my job, so sometimes it doesn't look like you think it to be, but the skill and what you're called to do and who you're called to do it with, you're still doing it. But it wasn't like he didn't say that I was gonna be a teacher in a classroom.
Right.
But I believed that I was called to teach, but that was the only way that I thought you were able to teach, is to go to school to be a teacher. But my life is teaching people to be entrepreneurs, small groups, and da-da-da-da-da. So it's happening, but it's just realizing my stage of teaching. Because I think I would have beat the kids. Like, I can't do the kids.
Right.
You know, I would have, but I still get the ability to teach and to be taught and to facilitate, but in a whole different way.
That's where it gets blurred, though, because as you get older, you still in your mind go, okay, well, that was the dream that I was given, but how then, what his question was, is it becomes blurred, because then you have to start interpreting versus...
But see, I wasn't blurred. It didn't blur me. I guess because I didn't put it in a box.
Well, that's what he's saying.
Right, I'm just saying, so don't just think, like, are you still teaching? You know, are you? So I always felt like I'm still teaching.
But see, what Jerry's saying, then I feel like you. Like, I feel like I'm called to women, but I have women all the time talking to me. But then I feel like, you know how they say a God dream is so much bigger than you. Mm-hmm. Right. But what I'm doing, I can do.
But
like
there's
I'm
still more to it. You're probably not all the way in the dream. But you're in the dream, but the dream ain't, you ain't woke up yet.
it's not done.
You
have to the thing about it to me is like God gives us this whole big old thing, and then you look at it, you be like, oh no, I can't do that, no, not me. And so he's like, okay, well you said you can't do it, now let me slow it down,
Okay.
so that you can walk through
it's a subtle thing?
Yeah.
or
step by step.
Because if you're for your instance talking about, so you're saying you feel that you're called to women, well you just now getting comfortable being able to be open and transparent and engaging.
You're right.
He can't give you that dream and then you standing up and well, I don't know. I'm gonna let other people do it, and that's not what he's trying to do with you.
Yeah.
I will say this. This is true for everybody, but it's particularly true to people that's called to me because I help shift the paradigm. What I will say is that God does show people glimpses. And when we first grow up, we think we'll put it in the traditional way that we learned it. And all the God's idea was bigger. So you grew up in church, you're a church girl, you're a PK all your life. So when God showed you a glimpse of ministering to women, you're gonna automatically think that that's a church, I'm a women's leader, pastor, and it's a ministry. And I got to do a whole conference, and that's because it's how church conditions
That's how your mind is set.
And then out of nowhere, you start exploring this passion to do hair that you never really had. Good at it, great at it. Your hair stuff made my edges grow back. I mean, the whole thing. Real talk. Like, I'm not even playing. My jug was super thin in the front and in the middle. I put them drops on. It smelled good. It hit your hair, everything. It's an amazing product. Anyway, I digress. In the same token, now you one-on-one every 3, 6, 4, 5 hours a day. The level of ministry, I always tell them, the level of ministry you can do in that hair and doing somebody's hair, trust, of touching their hair, making their hair grow, restoring their confidence, the layers to that is way more, whether you believe it or not, effective than if you ever called a women's conference. Because that's every week. That's every single time. I'm not saying you may not never do a women's conference, but I'm saying in God's mind, in the kingdom, your women's ministry that you do every Saturday and every Friday night is way more impactful than one you would do if you just got up and preached on a Friday night. That it's just because just the parameters. And what I try to do is protect people from being shoved into. I didn't press Brandon into trying to be a pastor in the church because I'm like, God got to do that in your heart. But you got 25, how many boys on your football team?
60.
How much?
60 if you count.
60 boys. You got 60 boys. They told me like 4 of them got fathers.
Wow.
60 boys, 4 of them got fathers. God let you be their pastor. You their pastor. Dude, don't come here. Stay over there. Like, don't quit that. Like, why would I tell you to come here and to do this when you pastoring 60 boys with no fathers? Like, that's so much more impactful than if you just translate that and automatically shove that in the church. All Jeremiah's life in church, is he a deacon? Is he a whatever? Is he a this? Nobody know what he is. I'm like, you're Jeremiah. Like, I'm protecting who you are. You're a concierge. That's who you are. You don't gotta get in none of them boxes. As a result, he's an apostle over here at Reflections. Got everybody. He got 50 hair churches up in there. You know what I'm saying? It's like he the bishop, you know. And he over there.
Bishop White.
He over there training entrepreneurs and teaching people how to run their own business and empowering them. And as a result of that, a bunch of people come to church because of that connection. Well, if we take him out of the secular sense and try to shove his gift in the church gonna turn him into something totally different, and he'll lose who he is trying to be something else. So I think God gives you a glimpse of who you are, but don't necessarily show you how you're gonna fulfill that, and make sure that you don't put yourself only in the church culture. We don't need you only in the church.
So guys, one of my biggest fears with that is like, you ever had a really good dream, right? And something wake you up, right? Then you go back to sleep and you try your best to have that dream again.
Go back and
you always have a different dream. So in life, that's one of my fears, or why I try to slow down from doing too much. Is because when I say they blurred, is that you had a dream, you have a dream, you think God gave you a dream. Then you wake up like, okay, I'm getting older, I got opportunities. It's like you woke up and it's like, okay, now I'm trying to go back into the correct dream, and I don't want to fall back asleep and be living out my dream. Because I do believe, like he say, it's a desire of your hearts. He gonna order your steps anyways, so I feel like it's going to be blessed anyway. So it's like, I don't think I'm gonna make a choice and I'm just gonna be boofed.
Right.
I just think I'm gonna make a choice, and it's like, it's good, but not knowing
Is it
secretly it could have been greater, like, or grander or better for him. Not even financially or more of that, but just trying to make sure that when I fall back asleep in that sense into my life, that I'm going back to his dream and not going back to what I made up as a dream, and that's what I'm currently struggling with.
But as long as you stay in the same posture in him, it's not possible. It's not possible. He just shows you glimpses at a time based on where your faith is and what you can handle and what you're doing.
Because his will don't change for our life.
He never shows you everything at one time because you can't handle it. We can't handle it. He just gets your spirit ready so you open for it. I knew I was moving. I knew something was happening. I didn't know where. I didn't know when. I had no clue I was going back to the shop. I had no clue I was about to go help my bro. Like, hot? Heck yeah. And it's so funny, because if I would have been told y'all announcement that I was moving somewhere hot, this wouldn't even be a conversation. Everybody would be like, oh, the revolution closed. We going down south. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. And it's so funny because that's what people want.
Right.
But when God calls you to something that you don't want, do you have the same answer?
Right.
Because now moving to Chicago ain't moving to Florida. So now, if you was with that, then why is it harder for this one than it is for that one? Oh, because that's what you want. So God was like, I don't want that, so I ain't doing that. I ain't letting y'all, because then everybody will leave. So I'm going to send, if you go into Chicago with him, you know you really going. Like, it ain't no, oh, do you think? Like, you called to that, because that's a whole different scenario. Even for me, it wasn't what I saw, but it wasn't where I saw. But it was exactly what I saw. Even if I pull my phone out and go, why since 1999 have I had the same telephone number? Never changed my number. Never. It's just right there. It's like you can see all these glimpses of history that led you back to a point, but you didn't see. You didn't know. You didn't know what part of it was what. You know what I'm saying? So God just showed you glimpses, snapshots. Get everybody ready. Everybody that's tapped in is relationally impacted by the fact that we move it. Nobody is startled. Not that's tapped in. Everybody knew. Everybody's spirit knew this is what's about to happen. We don't know when. We don't know how. We don't know where. But we know this is what's about to happen. Everybody could feel it because God did that in us. You know what I'm saying? Even when you don't know everything, you know. So we stay connected to God. He just keep on nudging you and putting you in the next place and the next thing. So it's easier to go into what he wants you to do because he already had it inside of you. Yeah.